Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Rambling Through Everyday Life with Fran and Angela. My name is Fran, and I am one of the co-hosts for this podcast. You guys, this is such a fun conversation. We're going to reminisce about Angela's birthday that she just had and some super fun stuff coming up that she is embarking on. One heck of a journey. All right, you guys, sit back, enjoy the show. We love you so much. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the podcast this week. We're so glad you're here. Hi, Angela.
Hello, Fran. And can I just say thank you to you and all the people who wish me happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Let the party continue, everyone.
Oh, my goodness.
Let's sing along. Happy birthday to you.
I'm now 3 days into age 49 and loving it. It's fabulous because of all the people. Y'all were so kind to just take the time to reach out and sing kind words. It means, you know, when you get to the ages that we are, it's just, that's all you really want.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Somebody just acknowledge that I matter and feed me a good meal.
Did you have a cake?
You know, I did not.
Would you? Okay, because this is also what's interesting.
I just now thought about that.
Well, I think everybody feels differently about what they want for their birthday. I'm not like, I don't have to have a cake. Don't even think about a cake. But there are some people that they're like, oh, they want a birthday cake. They want the candles. They want people to sing and blow out the candles. I don't want
singing.
Me neither.
They tried to sing to me at 2 different occasions. And I was like, please just wish me happy birthday.
Yes.
Let's not draw attention.
Yeah.
Growing up, my mother always made the Duncan Hines yellow cake with the milk chocolate icing. And I always wanted that on my birthday. Y'all, this is the first year I have not even considered
Angela,
cake. What is wrong with me?
I don't know.
Last night we went to Livingston's in Brownsville, the old-fashioned soda fountain, and I had lemon icebox pie.
I bet that was better than any chocolate cake.
It was amazing. We ate at Jonathan's.
Hey, talk about Jonathan's real quick for the local folks that have not been.
If you have not been, just go. We had a party of 8, and we were seated in 5 minutes, which is probably not normal.
Right. But it was
a huge place.
Thursday.
It was a Thursday.
You went on Thursday night.
And it was 6 o'clock, but it's a really high capacity restaurant. They always have ball games on the screens, very family friendly, really fun outdoor patio, outdoor lawn games, so much happening. But we always eat at the one in Nashville because y'all, if your family's like ours and nobody can ever decide,
right.
They have, at our table, there was an order of steak, a shrimp bowl, a salmon bowl, I had a quesadilla. Cole had a pizza. There were chicken tenders. There was a BLT sandwich, like the best onion rings. Literally, they have pasta.
Yeah.
Everything you can imagine is on this menu.
That's what families want.
Yeah. And it's casual. It's fun. Go check out Jonathan's. It was so good.
Okay. You didn't have birthday dessert there?
I don't remember. No, I didn't. I know. I'm like, what happened? I know I came home and raided some of Cole's Easter basket candy because Easter was so late. It just kind of,
still there. Okay. So remember the year that you made, what's that horrible birthday cake that you made me? That when you're trying to be
brownies?
Yeah. You're trying to be healthy. You don't want that this year.
Oh, absolutely not. We're over being healthy. No more of that. And might I apologize to you? I feel like I'll be apologizing to you until we're 103 for ruining your birthday.
No.
Zucchini bread or something.
Yeah, the way I look at that, because that was like early on in our friendship.
And it was February and we were still in our New Year's resolution.
And it just felt like, that's so sweet and kind of you,
But it
Angela.
tastes like crap.
But it was garbage.
Is this person my friend? Or is she trying to give me a message?
And really, the bottom line is, if it's your birthday, eat the real cake.
Please.
Eat whatever you want to eat for your birthday.
Oh, for the love. Do not try to be healthy. I do have on my necklace. My sister gave me a necklace with an Italian coin that has a honeybee on it.
That's amazing.
Atlas calls me honey.
That's amazing.
And we're headed to Italy.
That's amazing. Wonder, was that just like she got lucky with that, or was she intentionally trying to combine those two worlds together?
I think she stumbled upon it. She is like you and I are, where when you see something for the person, you're the best giver in the whole wide world, and you'll buy the gift and give the gift. But there may be 2 years that go by that I just wish you a happy birthday because I didn't feel inspired by. But if I see the right thing 3 days in a row, you'll get 3 gifts.
Yeah.
I just have to be inspired.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably what happened
That's awesome. I love that. Mm-hmm. Was that Danielle?
That was Danielle.
Shout out Danielle if you're listening.
She's so great.
That's amazing.
And now that I've mentioned Italy, I'm going to briefly mention the fact that this is graduation week for Kaylee.
I know.
And we leave, so please pray for me. We leave Thursday morning for baccalaureate. Friday is graduation, and I finally cried my first tears. Did I tell you that?
No.
I have not. Okay, so I have been in such denial, I think. I just have not paused to say, Kaylee's graduating.
That chapter's over.
And we've loved Sanford, and we've loved being part of Birmingham. We're very excited that she will be at Belmont and be closer to home.
And tell everybody what she's doing at Belmont.
Getting her doctorate in occupational therapy.
Yes.
We're so proud. She can take care of us as we age.
Yes,
with
for
all
real.
these things.
Hello, Kaylee. Please.
So I got the email that made me fall apart. I got the email that talked about the events on Thursday. I knew about baccalaureate. I knew that there was something called senior walk. Mm-hmm. I had never paused to consider what exactly is going to happen. And every time, I've tried to talk about this 3 times with 3 people, and I've not been able to do it without crying. But I'm trying to keep talking about it to desensitize myself so I will not cry off all my makeup on Thursday.
Right.
So I'm going to try right now.
Okay. I won't look at you.
Don't look at me.
I've got my hand up, everyone. I'm not looking at her.
I can't see you.
I cannot see you. I'm only listening.
So Thursday, we will be in the Wright Center, which is their auditorium where they have baccalaureate, where you have hymns and prayers and present the senior class gift. They said it will be very short and sweet. And then we have a dinner reservation at Helen, finally, just for Carl and Kaylee and myself. And then the next day, her, Mimi, and Cole are coming up for graduation. So senior walk, they line up in front of the activity center back where they all began, freshman year, orientation weekend. They may do this at every school. They probably do, but I had just never...
Yeah, you don't think about it.
I went to Lambeth back in the 90s. I don't remember doing anything like this, but they all line up right where they started as freshmen, and they trace the exact path and go right. I'm not crying. I'm doing good.
Yeah, that is good.
So anyway, they make their little processional into the Wright Center, and I just said all that and did not cry, and I'm going to be just fine.
Yeah, you will be.
Their graduation is in the beautiful new, they have a new athletic center that has been under construction for a few years, and as a result, you could not park anywhere because the whole place has been a construction zone. Mm-hmm. So I am excited to see that. Mm-hmm. She's been going to Pilates in the new building.
But one of the things that I love to always consider, and you're kind of considering this without saying it, is something that I hear our president and y'all hear us talk about Dr. Dub Oliver all the time. We're getting him on the show next year. We didn't have him on. Did we have him on at all this season?
Dr. Dub, we are missing your wisdom and expertise.
Not one time we didn't have him on.
I think we need a bonus episode.
Good gosh.
I know he's out there. We're going to go find him in a minute.
Maybe this summer we could record a bonus episode. But anyway, so Dr. Dub always, I think he still tells, I'm not sure, but let's pretend that he does, that he tells new families at the beginning of their college journey that these 4 years are the second most transformative years of your child's life outside of 0 to 5. So much has taken place in these 4 years.
She started during COVID.
And so you look back at where she began.
Yeah. Quarantined in the dorm room.
Like just as a human and all that she's gone through academically, in her sorority, in relationships and friendships of every kind until now. Like, it's just like, oh my gosh, so much has happened. So much has happened. She's found a great church community. She's got great friends. She has succeeded and done really well in her degree program. Like, so much shaping and transforming is happening in these 4 years. And then it's over. Ugh. And it's just kind of like, you just have these moments of perspective and reflection and go, wow, holy smokes, what a season that was.
And I do want to like pause and sit in that and not be afraid to feel the feelings.
Oh, yes.
But also, I don't want to be sad.
Right. So, well, it's just like any season. Normal. It's so sweet. You knew this one was going to end. A lot of seasons that you walk through, you don't know when the end is going to be. Right. But this one, you do have an idea of when it's going to end.
And interestingly, I've known that this is coming, and I have not let my brain recognize
That's okay.
what we're actually doing this
That's okay.
week. I want to say 2 quick things. One, if your child is struggling a little in high school socially or just with finding friends that feel like good, solid, forever friends, I told Kaylee, I don't know how many times, you will thrive in college. Your best days are ahead of you. And we saw God's faithfulness in that. The girls he sent to surround her in friendships, she'll have forever. Like they're all just, it's so sweet and precious. The other thing I want to say is if your child is at Union University or considering this place, my one I don't want to say complaint. My one wish that I did not have for my child was the president that we have here. I have pretended like Dr. Dub was our president, even though he's not, because I can't say that we have I've never even met any of the presidents that served. There were 3 total while Kaylee's been there. And Dr. Dub is so relational. So that was a very interesting, I almost was disappointed because I knew how it was done here and did not get, and I'm not knocking Sanford,
it's just different.
But it is such a nice thing that could be taken for granted to have somebody that knows your child by name and has that relationship.
Well, okay, can I say something really quick that I wasn't planning on saying about, and you can maybe speak into this. Let's not spend a ton of time here, okay? Because this is not on the outline, y'all.
We do have an outline.
We have an outline today. We got things to talk about. Okay, so because of the time of year that we're in and students are coming home from college for the summer, remember that transition of it's hard for the student, it's hard for the parent. And so I had a conversation with a girl that's finishing her freshman year, and there's just some angst about going home for the summer.
They're not coming home the same as when they left.
And so parents know that logically, but they don't really know essentially what that means.
And you helped me so much with this. Speak into that. Just give us a little advice and reminder.
I think it's just they're not the same person, and it's okay that you don't know who they actually are right now, because in your mind, you've only seen them, for moments of time. You haven't spent extended periods of time with them. So you really don't have a really good understanding of who they are. And so that's okay, but they're different. They've changed. They've grown. And so they may not be really thrilled. It may feel strange to come home for a long period of time because they miss their friends. They just miss what they've had. And you can't take it personally.
Yep.
You can't take it personally. Now, you may also have somebody coming home that's completing their sophomore or junior year, and they don't want to be there. And that's really a tough one to swallow.
That hurts our feelings.
It does hurt our feelings. But that's okay too, because they're moving on and they're moving into the world. They're being prepared for a life on their own, away from us. And that's what you want, but it can still feel very, very strange. So I don't know. I think just a conversation just on the basic level of what are the expectations for curfews, and do I have to tell you every time I'm going somewhere? And, maybe their relationship with the Lord has changed, or maybe their friendships, their home friendships have changed that they had in high school. I don't know. Just have some conversation with them so that you've got some understanding, and don't get your feelings hurt if they don't want to be with you.
Yeah, no, that's great advice. I also want to say I finally had a Bob's Burger here on campus at Union.
Yay.
It was amazing.
Yes.
Exceeded my expectations.
It's so good. The bun is
goodness.
like just dipped and soaked and drenched in butter, and
it's amazing.
It's so good. It's
amazing.
So good.
And I left with a little Jesus.
With a little baby Jesus, little pocket Jesus.
I have a little Jesus in my pocket.
Yeah,
in my purse.
We're going to take a photo of that and share that in stories, because everybody needs a little pocket Jesus.
I've been taking a little Jesus everywhere I go. The kind man at the register saw me admiring the little circle of baby Jesuses.
Yes, so sweet.
And said, would you like one?
What is it? Does it say, explain to him, explain to the listeners, what does he have on?
Jesus is wearing a white robe with a green sash that says Jesus loves you.
Okay.
And he has long hair and a beard.
He's very Caucasian.
He is.
He's not Middle Eastern.
I don't know that he's accurate, but he is Jesus.
He's got his arms spread wide, like, I love you, Angela.
If I'm made in his image, this looks a lot like me. Okay, I want to say this too. So Kaylee's one request for graduation, well, two. She wants some cowgirl boots because she's moving to Nashville. So we're going to the Tacova store. She also wanted a trip to Italy with her mother.
Yes.
I've mentioned that already on the podcast. I cannot wait.
Okay, so you're leaving when?
We leave next Monday.
Monday. So graduation, get through the weekend, come home.
Yes.
What does she do? Where's all of Kaylee's stuff going?
So Kaylee...
She's been in an apartment.
She's been in an apartment. And here's what's sweet about that. She has not had to do the usual thing where you hurry up, your semester comes to a screeching halt, and you graduate, and you have to tell everybody goodbye and leave forever. That's not what's happening, thank goodness. And that has helped her tremendously. She is going to work, and all of her little friend group, they all live in the same apartment complex. Most of them are staying until August 1st, and they're going to work and have a little more time together. So that took the pressure off of
pack it up,
finality
goodbye.
all at once. So we'll come home Saturday around lunchtime. Kaylee will have Saturday with her friends. Her boyfriend, Matthew, is from Atlanta, so he will drive her to Atlanta to meet me at the airport. I'm flying from Jackson, Tennessee to Italy, essentially. I'm flying Monday from Jackson to Atlanta to London to Venice. And we're going to Venice, Florence, and Rome. And then we'll fly home together. So
just the two of y'all.
Just the two of us.
You've got an itinerary. Y'all know. Listen, I've only done Disney with Angela, but I know from that trip that it's got its structure. You know exactly what you're doing every single day.
Well, kind of. I'm still trying to learn some Italian because I've heard that they appreciate it greatly if we can.
You want to say anything? You want to say anything right now in Italian?
Ciao. We'll just start right there. But this morning I booked a nighttime golf cart tour of Rome.
Oh, that's amazing.
And I grew up Catholic, so this whole thing with the Pope has been very sad and also very interesting.
Yes.
And we have a tour of the Vatican in the Sistine Chapel for, I think it's May the 10th, which is Saturday. And y'all, that's right in the middle.
Yes.
We'll either be at the beginning, middle, or the end of the new Pope selection. So either we will see the Sistine Chapel or we will not see it because it's closed off because the cardinals are inside in secrecy electing a new Pope. So the first day of the vote, whenever the conclave begins, they vote one time on day one. And if they have to have a 2/3 vote, and it's totally in secret, and they burn the ballots. And if the smoke turns black, it means they did not reach an agreement. Yeah, isn't that fun? And then when they do reach a 2/3 vote, they put chemicals in to turn the smoke white. So everybody waiting outside watches for the smoke.
I think it's fascinating.
It's so fascinating. And they vote up to, I think, 4 times a day after day one, twice in the morning. And I may be totally wrong.
Doesn't matter.
You're going to be there on the internet, but I will be there. So anyway, we're doing. My sister Danielle has been, and she said we take a water taxi from Venice Airport to the hotel because most of Venice is underwater.
Oh my gosh!
And then we have several museum. Kaylee loves art. We love all the. All the girly
This
art
is
things.
This is what's going to happen. I know it'll probably never happen, but this is what, in my mind, I know is going to happen. In the middle of the trip, I don't know. I can say it right now. I hadn't even been. I'm going to be like, okay, now when are you and I going to go?
Yes.
But then I'm like, that's kind of hard to pull off.
Oh, we'll pull it off. Look, the closer we get, let me tell y'all, if you're approaching empty nest in any kind of way, once you launch these babies, then you just get to travel more.
Right.
You get to go see them. You get to go places with your friends. We just have all the travel ahead of us. And Carl has said, I don't know how many times, just take Fran.
I know. He's like, I don't
have to go.
I don't want to go to Disney. I don't want to do anything. Take her.
But our last day, I added this on. The one thing that we had not been able to squeeze in was the Amalfi Coast. And we are now able, at like 7:30 a.m., our last day, we get on a bus, go to the Amalfi Coast, go to Amalfi and Positano. I hope I'm saying this right. And then we take a boat cruise back to Rome that last night. So we'll have all day. And I feel like, so this is why I'm saying that last day on the coast, I feel like will be mine and your extended trip. Can you imagine just being on the coast?
No, I can't.
And only having 12 hours, we'll have to go back.
Oh, and having gone and being, you're the guinea pig, you'd be like, oh, this is what we're going to do. We're not doing this. Or you're just going to we're doing the exact same trip all over again.
You know what I read that I'm a little apprehensive about?
I have no idea.
You have to pay to use the potty. I'm going to go broke.
No joke.
They said to buy something in the store, to get a few bills and buy something to get some change because you have to use a coin to use a public toilet. And then some of them were saying that the actual toilet seat is not there. You have to squat. So
holy smokes.
It's going to be an experience.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait.
I will have stories for y'all on the finale of the podcast.
Well, and if anybody's ever been and you have a thought, a suggestion, or a comment, either comment on the social media post on Facebook or Instagram, or send us a DM, or send Angela a DM or something if you don't have our cell numbers.
If you have restaurant recommendations.
Anything. Just
anything I need
anything
to know.
To be mindful of.
Yes.
This is so great. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. I'm so excited for y'all.
One last thing. We are being very ambitious and packing and carry on only because we don't want, we've heard the cobblestones are really hard to drag your bags across.
Yeah. You see videos of people trying to do that and you're like, right then and there, I'd be like cussing up a storm because that looks miserable.
So here we go.
Let the adventures begin.
Yeah. So that's coming up.
So exciting, y'all.
I want us to talk real quick about something fun that we both did. Easter was not that long ago, and all over the internet was a ChatGPT roast.
Are we going to share our picture so they can see what got us to?
I think we should.
Yeah, okay.
I think we should. So if you're not familiar, ChatGPT, you can upload a family photo or any photo and ask for a roast. And then it will say, do you want it to be spicier? Do you want it to be fun? Do you want it to be nicer? It is so funny what is. And then after we share this, I'm learning things like there are prompts where you can go in and say, I'm looking for a hotel, but I don't want to pay full price. Can you tell me what? Like, you can literally ask this thing anything, which is a little scary.
But it's also, for somebody that's like not in college and I'm not like, hey, rewrite my paper.
Right.
I think I love it.
It's
we
so
use
helpful.
It every day. I use Copilot a lot at work, same concept, but it's just so great. You're like, oh my God, artificial intelligence is wild and brilliant and very creepy.
Well, I would love to know from listeners, what is your favorite way to use ChatGPT? Because I know there's things that I'm not doing that I would make my life easier. I asked it the other day, I need a fast food meal that's high in protein and won't destroy my diet. And it gave me options I wouldn't have thought of.
It's kind of like Google, but better, I guess. I don't know.
I was at the hair salon and I was trying to come up with a fun concept to tie in a social media post for work with being at the hair salon. And my brain was stuck for 5 minutes. And Blair said, ask ChatGPT. 2 seconds later, brilliant. So when y'all see that in a few weeks, you'll know it had nothing to do with I did not write it. Okay, Fran, tell us about your family.
Okay, so it took me a minute to find a photo that we're all in it because Clay doesn't live around here anymore. And so I really had to go back in time because our Christmas photo has the Christmas tree in it. And I don't want to upload that photo.
It would roast you for still having your Christmas tree up at Easter.
So I didn't want to do that. So this is just a photo of the 5 of us. You can't even see hardly anything in the background. It's pretty generic, very casual. So the options when you upload the photo are mild, medium, spicy. The medium one was very lame. So I had to go on the spicy side. And it's still pretty not spicy. So anyway, and we'll share all these photos, the photos that we used in stories so you can see. All right. So this is what the spicy says. And so keep in mind, the guy in the gray shirt is Chip. Chip's in the gray shirt. Clay's in the red shirt. And the other 2 hooligans have on their ball caps. Okay. And then there's me. This looks less like an Easter gathering and more like the lost cast of a reality show called Almost Famous in a Small Town. The guy in gray, Chip, looks like he gives motivational speeches exclusively to people waiting in line at Home Depot. Correct. Red shirt over there, Clay, definitely says, let's run it back after losing every single board game. Meanwhile, the 2 dudes in backwards hats, living proof that hats aren't just a fashion statement, they're a personality type. 100% true. One's giving off still calls his mom to schedule his dentist appointment energy. And the other looks like he thinks Monster energy drinks are a food group. And the lady up front, yours truly, she's got the mom who's about 2 seconds away from reminding everyone who paid for dinner look, but still smiling like she just won best hair at church service.
Best hair.
Honestly, you all look like you formed a team to lose spectacularly in a game of Family Feud.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Anyway, that's so fun.
Isn't that so fun?
Yeah, that's fun. Okay, what does yours say?
Mine was just a photo of me with my 2 children, and it said, your son's hair brings more volume than a 90s boy band reunion. At least it's festive, like a nest ready for Easter eggs.
Oh, that's amazing.
This guy's outfit says, I might mow the lawn later, but the shoes are like, only after I dunk on someone first. Mom is rocking the spring green like a pro, but is this a family photo? Or low-key an audition for Southern Charm Easter edition?
Oh, amazing.
And the girl on the right? Sweet smile, gorgeous dress, but those shoes look like they just graduated from fairy godmother school.
Who is that? You were Kaylee.
She had on gold. She's got these cute Sam Edelman gold. They remind me of Sam and Libby's. They look like ballerina flats, and they're pure gold. They're beautiful. Susie would approve.
Yes.
We'll have to show Susie the shoes. 10 out of 10 spring vibes. So
that's awesome.
That's it.
That's so cute.
That is it.
Way to go, ChatGPT.
Right. Okay, you got your real ID.
Oh,
Speaking
gosh,
of travel,
yes. Okay.
Reminder to the people, get your real ID.
Get your real
Fran,
ID. I had an experience.
Tell us about your experience.
So I made an appointment probably 3 or 4 weeks ago and just took the first appointment. And I went on, I don't know, Thursday afternoon, maybe 2:30 in the afternoon. That's what they had. I took it.
Seems like a random low-key time.
Yeah. So here's where mine got a little dicey. Sorry about that. Because we've moved, a lot of my documents don't have the current address on it. And so I kind of had to work harder to have what I needed to have. I used my passport. That was my identification for being a U.S. citizen. Then you have to have something that shows your Social Security number. So your social security card, or maybe a W-2 that has your full social on there. Then you have to have 2 forms of 2 documents, 2 whatevers that show that you're a Tennessee resident with your address. And then that's where I got tricky, is because I'm like, I don't have a lot that has my new address. And so I had to get my employer, I had to get HR to type up something that showed my new address because my pay stub hadn't reflected the change yet. So that wasn't accurate. And that's what I was afraid they may not take. The other thing, I don't even remember what it was, but it was fine. So I pull into the parking lot, y'all, and there is not even a place to park. And there's people standing around everywhere outside. And our particular DMV, it's not really big. For a county like Madison County, I'm like, we need another location. We need a bigger spot.
It's tiny.
It's tiny.
The ones at Dyersburg and Trenton are the same size.
Yeah,
as
exactly.
ours.
Yeah. And so I'm like, there's literally nowhere to park. I circle the little bitty parking lot 3 times, like, oh my God, where am I going to park? Because there's other lots around, but they had them closed off. So, okay. People standing around outside, I thought, woo, law, maybe because I have an appointment. Here we go. So you walk in and there's this lady immediately standing there and she's like, what's your name?
They don't want you there.
No,
they make
not.
It very evident.
Yeah, they need to work on our hospitality and our customer service a little bit.
They need a Chick-fil-A school.
Yeah, they do. They just, I know that this is hard and you've been doing it. Oh God, like people don't have the right stuff and they don't have an appointment. So she gets me checked in. I get a number. Everybody's got like big folders and envelopes with all their documents that they've got to have just so that we can get a gold star on our driver's license now. And so I sit down. There was 2 seats open. And you know, when it's that crowded, you're kind of like, oh my God, do I stand here? Do I sit? We're kind of, sitting here like sardines.
Everybody's breathing on everybody.
Oh my God, it just feels like a lot. And so I'm able to sit down and, just kind of like holding my paperwork closely, got my purse on my lap like a little mamaw.
The chairs are smushed so close together. You're getting real friendly with your neighbors.
You are. And I'm not in the mood to be real friendly with people because I was already kind of frustrated over the experience.
Over the parking situation.
And so they have a screen, my number was DA18. So, there's all kinds of numbers depending on what you're there for. And so Oh my God. I was listening to everybody's conversation around me. This lady beside me had gone to Memphis. She'd gone to Brownsville. She was in Jackson now. She'd been doing this all the livelong day. Then there were people talking about they'd been there. They got there first thing in the morning and they had waited 3 and 4 hours with no appointment. No, I'm not doing that. I am going on a trip the 1st of June for work. And I was just like, you know what? If I decide this is a no-go, I'm just taking my passport with me to fly domestically because this is horrible. And so anyway, just listening to everybody's moaning and groaning and complaining, and it's just exhausting. And I sat in the queue, like it would say DA 18, you're up next. I sat there, I swear, for 35 minutes because I kept thinking, I'm about to be next. Yep. I think somebody went on lunch and just kind of left me hanging there.
One time I was there at 11:45 and they went to lunch and I sat there for an hour and a half. Like they just, And if you're at the end of the day, good luck. They'll just close and kick you out.
I don't know how. I was there for 1 hour with an appointment at 2:20, and the whole exchange, like once you got up to the counter, that didn't take 10 minutes. So I waited for 50 with an appointment.
This is a study of inefficiency.
And I kept thinking as I left, I was like, these people are not going to be done. This place is closing soon. There's 100 people in this room.
You can imagine what the atmosphere is like when they all get told to leave and come back later.
I don't know. So I don't know. Make your appointment. Make sure you've got all the documents that you need.
If you live locally, go to Dyersburg or Trenton. I think Dyersburg's being remodeled. But
I heard too after I got back that currently, like for us in our county, if you don't have an appointment, the first appointments are the end of July.
Goodness.
It doesn't matter what county you're talking about.
Oh.
So because we were talking about different locations and they're like, well, a coworker could not get an appointment anywhere.
So what do you do if you don't have a passport and don't have a real ID? I guess
you don't travel. You're not traveling. And so I've said this to a lot of college students and they don't know what I'm talking about. So if you're a parent of a college student, make sure that over the summer you somehow get their real ID if they are traveling at any point, especially, flying home, they're going to be fine because probably they're coming home before May the 7th when all this goes into effect.
But they may not come back in August without,
get that real ID appointment. But I still don't understand. Like, what is this for? Can somebody explain to me why are we doing this?
To pay the government a fee. What'd you pay for it? You remember?
No, I don't. But I also,
$30.
She updated my voter registration card, maybe? Yes. And updated my being an organ donor. I don't know why that needed updated. But anyway, she did all this other stuff for me. Maybe $30. I can't remember.
Government fees. Cha-ching, cha-ching. Well, y'all want a funny story?
What did Angela do this week?
Oh, y'all. It wasn't this week, but...
Well, recently. Let me just set this up for you all. Okay, so...
This is another episode of Angela Needs to Wear Her Glasses. Carl has finally put his foot down. And you will soon understand why.
So, Angela is... this was... I don't know when this was. This was a few weeks ago. Doesn't matter. This is... Here locally, it's called the Sterling Awards 2025. Let me read to you what this program is titled. The 20 most influential women in West Tennessee. Y'all, the 20 most influential women in West Tennessee. Our beloved and very own Angela Snyder was one of the 20. Hold on a moment. Yes, you're correct. Everybody clap. So there's this, it's like a magazine. It's a color magazine. It's a program of all the 20 women that are recognized at this event. And it tells you, you're able to learn like who they are, what they do, where they're from, what their education is, the contributions to West Tennessee. It tells me that Angela's an attorney. It tells me where she went to school. It tells me all the things that I've ever wanted to know. And even at the funny part on the Did You Know, It says that her favorite hobby is spending time on the farm with her family and their pets, including a one-eyed golden retriever and a swan named Mick Swagger. Like, it's a phenomenal magazine. So she is all gussied up, as my mama says, all gussied up to be at this awards ceremony and recognition. And then Angela goes into the restroom.
Oh, hold on. Let's set
kidding.
this up a little more.
Okay.
So keep in mind the city and the county mayor are there to make a proclamation.
Oh, yes. This is a big deal. It's basically Angela Snyder Day.
Well, let's back up and say influential, perhaps. 19 women and me were there. 19 women did not probably do what I did. Lest we take ourselves too seriously, lest we forget to be humble. Let me tell you what I did. I mentioned Kaylee's gold shoes already.
Yes.
She wore them for Easter. Mm-hmm. So as I'm arriving at this event, I've had a long day. This is just not really my scene. I'm trying to make the most of it. I'm trying to psych myself up for okay, let's go. You got to get up on the stage and do a thing.
I would die. I'd be sick and not go.
So I was just trying to mentally hype myself up a little bit. So I always, y'all know I'm always in a bathroom, always have to go find a bathroom. So I go in the bathroom and I'm just talking to myself and I'm like, this is going to be fun. These women are going to be fun to celebrate. You're in a room with people you respect and admire. So Kaylee, I looked, my Apple Watch gave me a notification and I looked down and it's a picture. So I look and Kaylee has sent me a picture of her new shoes and said something about, aren't they cute? And I was like, yeah. And then I thought, speaking of cute, I was just trying to be silly.
Right.
So I send her a selfie in the bathroom because she's always fit check, sending me selfies. So I send her a selfie of me in the bathroom mirror. And I'm like, do I look good? I'm here to get my award. And then we're texting back and forth. And then, y'all, I turn around. This is a 5-minute text exchange in a bathroom. I turn around. There's a urinal. There is a urinal. There is a urinal. I am in a bathroom with a urinal. Y'all know what that means.
You ain't in the girls' bathroom.
I'm using my influence to be the Lucy Ethel version of the influential woman. Yeah.
Well, let's just go ahead and say right here, right now, urinals are disgusting.
They are disgusting, but I ran so fast out of that bathroom. That was not, my only regret is that you cannot see more of the urinal in my selfie. And I wish I'd seen my own face when I finally turned around and realized I had spent 5 minutes being cute in the boys' bathroom.
Thank you, Jesus, for protecting our sister.
And I was like, oh, well, that's interesting. It must be a unisex bathroom at the hospital now. And I turn around and walk out of the door and right across from me it says women, and I look around like, who sees me right now? I'm at the Jackson-Madison County General Hospital in their little conference center section with dignitary people, and I'm in the boys' bathroom.
You know what? Listen, we just are doing the best we can, people.
God knows how to keep me humble.
Yes. Well, and he knew
I haven't been in a boys' bathroom in a minute. He's going to send me hello.
I don't know what it is about a boys' bathroom that I just I don't care. It's for adults. And I'm like, oh my gosh, shut the door.
It's so gross. So, yeah.
Way to go. But yay, we're so proud of you for being recognized.
Carl's proud of me because I wore my glasses today. Well, after that, he was like, I'm not going to tell you again.
I know.
Stay out of the boys' bathroom, wear your glasses so you know where you are.
I know. Okay, fine.
But it was just funny. Yeah. I thought, that this is my life. I don't have a choice but to be reminded to stay humble because I will continue to do things like that.
I love it.
Okay, I want to mention 2 quick things, and then this is our transition to being spiritual. We're going to go from urinals to spirituality. Y'all ready for that? As I'm looking at my little Jesus, I got my little Jesus in front of me. So one of the podcasts that we love is The Glorious and the Mundane with Christy Nockels. And I had not listened to it in a while.
I didn't even know that it was still, because in my mind.
She's amazing.
Okay, it doesn't matter why I think it didn't exist anymore, but.
She has got so many gifts anyway, but the way that she just.
And she's solo. She's by herself.
That and the way she is so engaging with us. We're just kind of loud and all over the place.
Yeah.
She is just so sweetly soft, draws you in.
A good storyteller.
Yes. And you just feel like you're sitting with her at the feet of Jesus.
Yes.
I don't know how people feel when they listen to us, but hopefully you feel closer to the Lord at some time listening to us.
Just keeping it real, people.
Just keeping it real. So she recommended something that she had given her children, and I have bought some as graduation gifts because I love them. It's based on Experiencing God by Henry Blackaby, but it is a day-by-day devotional.
It looks like Jesus Calling.
Doesn't it? And it breaks down.
Oh, I got to read this because I don't have my glasses.
No. You're not going to read it to the people. Just kind of look at it.
It's very much like Jesus Calling, like a daily. It looks like it from the outside, and you open it up. It's the same concept.
And Experiencing God is so powerful, but very big and overwhelming to me. This is giving just little bitty bite-sized pieces of a very beautiful, powerful book that we all need in our lives. So graduation gifts, I give cash, but I always put some kind of little spiritual something with it. So I've been giving these books with some cash as graduation gifts, and they've been very well received. So just wanted to put that on people's radar. It really is a good
Oh, I love it. Where did you get this locally or did
Amazon?
You just ordered a bunch.
I ordered a bundle because they were on sale. They were like $10.
Yeah, that's a great idea. People always ask what to give. What are good gifts for high school and college graduates? So I love that.
And let me say this too, because I would never just give a book to some of these teenage boys that I've, but that's an opportunity when there's a card with it. That's what they really want, which is the money. But Cole has been meeting 2 hours a week with his mentor and going through Wild at Heart by John Eldredge. And y'all, when a teenage boy reads a book, talks about a book, and is encouraged and inspired, and also it's putting him in his Bible more. I cannot recommend that. It's been around a long, long time, but we talk about how people just want to be seen, and he's like, Mama, this is what men are supposed to be. I'm supposed to be outdoors, and I'm supposed to be strong and a leader. And it's just reinforcing some things in his heart that maybe he hadn't been reminded of in a while.
It really reminds me of the great importance of discipleship.
Yes.
And let me tell y'all, our friend Sharon Hottie Miller recently put on Instagram, and this is so true. We're not going to talk about it because we don't have time. But maybe next year we could bring this in as one of our spiritual segments. But she was like, discipleship is not just getting coffee with somebody and talking about the Lord.
Oh, what is it? How does she define it?
Well, it was a whole thing. But I think that that we're caught. We have a misunderstanding of what discipleship is, and so people think that because they have casual conversations centered around coffee X times a year that's discipleship.
That's surface level.
Yeah, that's surface level.
You got to get all up in somebody's business and then earn the right to speak into and the trust of them to share with you.
Right.
And usually that takes one person being brave enough to go first and say, let me tell you where I'm struggling right now.
Right.
Cole was so shocked to hear his mentor share with him some struggles, and I told him, I said, I don't want details. Y'all keep details between you, but just tell me some concepts you're learning, just because it encourages me as your mama to hear how you're growing. And the minute that mentor was willing to be vulnerable appropriately with him,
and it's so rare, Angela. It's so rare for men to do that. We're not talking about it today. We'll bring it back up at another time, but it's just very, very rare.
But that opened. It brought walls down immediately, and Cole was 100% bought in from that point.
Yeah, so, I love that. Thank you, Lord. Okay, I'd like to say this, and you all are going to hear from our beloved Sydney Whitaker next week. She's going to be our guest on the show as we wrap up our season in May. We've just got a few weeks left, but Sydney has taught me a lot lately, and I'm going to put her beside somebody else, Chesney, that does my nails.
Aww.
And the last few times I've been with both of these young women separately, but they're essentially saying and doing the same thing. They have such a desire to be obedient to what the Lord is asking them to do. And so I sat with Chesney today and let her share all these things that the Lord is putting in front of her and how he's moving and his ways, y'all. The way he goes about things are not logical. They don't make sense to a lot of people, but you can clearly see the puzzle that's being put together and what he's doing and how he's at work. And so I think my point in this is you got to have people in your life that you're telling this to, because I was so encouraged. Like it fueled my faith to hear someone else talk about, I know this sounds crazy, but
I love it when a sentence starts with that and you know they're talking about Jesus.
And I would love to have Chesney on in the fall to kind of unpack some of this, because it does sound utterly ridiculous, but I've listened to her over so long. She was been telling this story. I've just watched it come together over the many months. And I just think, man, I'm just now like sitting here going, okay, Lord, what do you have for me? Like, I'm always going to go back to ministry and the podcast and in our voice and what he wants for us, because it is so much more than what we're doing day in and day out. He's always wanting to move us forward in a direction that may just, like, we don't know what it is. We don't know what it is, but I think that hearing her today and hearing Sydney just talk about their love for the Lord and continually asking him, show me, Lord, what do you have for me? What do you want me to do? That seems scary, that could make no sense to somebody else, but this is what you want for me. And then I just sat there and I was like, yes, I don't know what it is. And for you, but maybe you're not even giving him an opportunity to speak because you're not having that conversation.
Well, and let's run it way back. I don't even remember the first time I met Chesney, but I know she was at Polish downtown, and then she moved multiple, and now she's on her own. But what she did, I just showed up for a random, quote unquote, nail appointment. And if she had not spoken through that manicure about her faith, that's what drew me in. And then we started a friendship because we both just started talking rapid fire about things that were but it took, you may have a job that feels like, well, I'm just, I'm just this or I'm just that. She just showed up to do a manicure that day. And that was such an important, there have been times in her life with you, she and I have had conversations. Because she spoke about Jesus and was willing to not just go through the motions of a manicure and go home at the end of, wherever God has positioned you.
Yeah.
Do you want to take that step and see what he can do with it? Or do we want to play small and safe and just go through?
Well, that goes back to y'all, we are so running out of time, but you think about, that was last week's episode with Mary Morantz. Like, do you want to play it safe and small, or do you want to do what the Lord wants for you to do? Because I believe that we're made for so much more than getting up and going to work every single day. Within your work, what are you doing for ministry? Yes, get up and go to work every single day, but don't just do your job. Do more than your job.
Or stay-at-home mamas.
Yes,
have a huge ministry.
Yeah, just don't be afraid, and don't be afraid to start asking the Lord for, like, what do you want for me? What are you pushing me to do? And it's going to be different for everybody, but I don't know. I hope that that's an encouragement to you in some way. I don't want to sit here and say, do this, but I hope this is an encouragement an encouragement for you to step out and seek the Lord and be obedient and just listen to what he's saying.
And if you have not listened to Mary Morantz from last week, oh my goodness, go listen.
Buy the book.
Underestimate it.
It releases this week.
And don't underestimate yourself and how God can use it.
Yeah.
And Fran, after our conversation with Mary, you were challenging yourself in some ways.
Yes.
How's that coming? Yeah.
Well, we'll share. Well, you know what? That'll be great for the fall. Because so much will have happened
between. You don't have to share it yet. I'm just going to keep reminding you.
No, we're moving forward. We're moving forward.
Fran's going to have some big things to share with us in the fall.
Anyway, we'll see.
God's growing something.
Oh, man, y'all. Okay, this is so much fun. Angela, have a great trip.
Thank you. Ciao.
Have a great trip.
Is ciao something you say for all the things?
Sure, why
Ciao.
not?
Ciao, Bella.
So we'll have our conversation with Sydney next episode.
Oh,
We've
y'all are gonna
already
love
recorded that.
You are going to love it.
Susie Said So is
Yep.
coming up soon, and then we're wrapping up the season.
I'm going to take my little Jesus to Italy.
Yes, yes, baby Jesus, baby Jesus. All right, everybody, y'all are amazing. Have a super great week. Angela, we love you. We'll be praying for you, and I cannot wait to hear all about it. Okay, see y'all later. Have a great day. All right, don't forget, send us a DM, send us a text message, send us something if you know anything at all about Italy to help Angela out on her trip. All right, you guys, have a fantastic day. We love you. We're praying for you. We thank God for you. May the joy of the Lord be your strength in all that you do this week. See you next time.